So with that, I welcome onto the stage the next group to entertain us with the song Andru Kutiyatula.
We would now like to invite the Honourable Dr. Gaurav Sharma, MP for Hamilton West, to come forward and say a few words.
Kia ora everyone. If you could just all take your seats. I am not the MC tonight, I'm just one of the speakers, but we'll start the night. My name is Gaurav Sharma, I'm the Member of Parliament for Hamilton West on this side. Some of you I've met at the last Sri Lankan festival where I remember I came, I inaugurated the function and then I ran away for the next one. Today it's the other way around. I've just come from, this is my 8th event of the day. I've got 2 more to go to after this. I just want to start by first of all thanking Mr. Weeraratne, Mr. Manoharji and the New Zealand Sri Lanka Friendship Society for inviting me. The last time I was here in Clarence Theatre, I think the Prime Minister was here and this was a few years ago. So it's good to see a huge turnout and all of you guys here. And I just want to acknowledge Vanushi Walters, if you just wave, I'm sure she's speaking after me. She's the Member of Parliament, the first Sri Lankan to be elected to Parliament, who's come all the way from Auckland to see us. And just want to say, you know, what a diverse country we live in. And I was just reflecting on just this week that I've had. I've been coming from an iftar party, which was related to the Ramadan festival. Earlier in the week, I was at a Gurudwara. Before that, I was at a Hindu temple. But just to be able to see, you know, the diverse mix of cultures we have, and to be able to enjoy it in this year especially, and in the last year when we've had pandemic all across the world, is really great. So I'm not going to take any more of your time, but I just want to say to the Sri Lankan Society, you know, thank you for your contribution to Hamilton, to New Zealand. And to all of you for being here and for inviting me as well. And if there's anything I can do as an elected Member of Parliament, my doors are always open. And we've got an office in Pembroke Street starting soon as well. So please come and reach out to us. Thank you very much. Cheers.
නැටුම් කලාව හා සටන් කලාව එක්තැන් වූ මොහොතක්.
Now you are about to witness a fusion of the traditional arts of dancing and self-defense.
කැලයා යාබදුනි මහසෙනග කැලයා අදාසනග කල් කරපු කැලයා එදා පසුදු විය දෙවියෝ කැලයා ලැබුණා පෙර පින් නැති බව දන්නේ ලැබුණාදී හිමි ලෙස කුමරුන්නේ සදා පසින්දු විය දෙවියෝ
next item for this evening is a battle. A battle between traditional Sri Lankan drummers, highlighting the intricate beats and rhythms of Kandyan drumming. So let's give it up for the drummers.
Walters is a native Sri Lankan New Zealander whose family moved to New Zealand in 1987. She held diverse roles in NAWA International, Action for Children, Youth Australia, and acted as a trustee for Foundation World.
It is now our pleasure to call upon the MP for Auckland's Upper Harbour electorate, who is also the first Sri Lankan-born Member of Parliament in New Zealand, and tonight's esteemed chief guest, the Honourable MP Vanushi Walters, to address us all.
Aiboan, Vanakkam, Assalamu alaikum, and Kia ora tātou. And what an absolute privilege to be here with you all to celebrate. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and also for welcoming my family. My mother Prathiva is sitting here with my three boys as well, Elliot, Luca and Sasha. I want to say thank you first to your president, Mr. Veeratna, to your executive, to the foundation, the society, to everyone who did so much and has done so much to organise this evening, but also to the wonderful, wonderful performers who have performed for us tonight. I think I have no more storage room on my phone because I've been videoing away so I can enjoy it again later. I also want to acknowledge the members of Parliament who've been with us for parts of this evening, David Bennett, Dr. Gaurav Sharma, who's a colleague but also a friend of mine, and Kesh, your Hamilton City Councillor, and other distinguished guests here this evening as well. I also want to say Happy New Year, and what a wonderful time of year to celebrate. I've been privileged to be with many communities, South Asian communities in New Zealand, over the last few weeks celebrating New Year's. And every time I stand up to speak to an audience like this, I just catch my breath for a minute, thinking about how fortunate we are. Part of my role in Parliament is to chair the multicultural sector, so I have a lot of engagement with people from our Indian community who at the moment are so worried about family members back home. So we are extremely, extremely fortunate. I know it hasn't been an easy time for many people as well. I had a young person speak to me when we went back into level 3 lockdown, and she said to me, we're going into level 3, is this a good thing or a bad thing? And I said, yes. The truth is that it has been really difficult for a lot of people, but I think we can also say that as New Zealanders we've done the hard work to be able to get to this place that we're at. And in my view, that is because of the work our leader, the Prime Minister Jacinda Ardern, has done, but it's also because of all of you doing your bit to make sure that we're COVID-free. I also want to reflect on the year it's been. It hasn't just been about COVID, it's been a special year in Parliament. In Labour, we've seen our most diverse group of MPs elected. We have 8 members of Parliament who identify as multicultural. We have our first African Member of Parliament, our first Mexican Member of Parliament, and for the first time ever, we have 3 people from our South Asian community who have won their electorate seats. It's incredible. It's something that a lot of people said could never be done. And while I'm delighted to be the first Sri Lankan-born Member of Parliament, I won't be the last. And I think that's what we need to remember going forward. With the extraordinary talent and confidence on this stage, I have no doubt that our next MP could be coming out from Hamilton within the Sri Lankan community. We have a lot to be proud of. I won't say much more, but I do want to answer one question that I commonly get asked, which is, what's it like being a new Member of Parliament? So I'll tell you about my first day on the job. We get flown instantly to Wellington, and on the first day, Jacinda Ardern came down to spend some time with the new MPs, and she said this to us, and I'll paraphrase. She said, "It may not have hit you yet, the enormity of your role and what you can do with it, but at some stage in the next few weeks or the next months, it will. And I'll tell you when it hit me. It was in the week when we were all giving our maiden speeches in Parliament, and these little children were all running around the halls of Parliament, and I thought two things. One, that we live in a special time when families and caregivers are not just welcomed into Parliament, they're celebrated. This is an unusual, unprecedented time in our parliamentary history, and we all should be proud of that. The second thing was that these little kids are going to grow up really quickly, and we need to deliver an agenda for them in terms of non-discrimination, in terms of preventing further climate change, in terms of inequality and poverty. We have a lot to do. And when I say we, I don't just mean me. So I'll end by saying I think we're all part of this. We have what I call an intimate but a loud democracy in New Zealand. You have an opportunity to participate in this democracy like you just don't in many other countries around the world, so use it. Contact your MPs, talk to us, demand things of us, submit to select committees, be heard by Parliament, petition us, and stand yourselves for leadership roles. Kia ora tātou, thank you so much for having me and my family, and I look forward to my next visits.
The lady is cross with the maid as she is in a hurry to go on holidays. Check out what the cook and maid and their friends get up to in the empty house. Enjoy Panic in the Bungalow.
Baby aran round gihing baby tiyala gahak kating begi karala angara nettu begi karala angara nettu ange paharala taputan katakala baby ke andu
no na mata gamata yanna
epa appu gamata yanna beha me kiwa inna ganna
කවුද බේබි බලාගන්නේ කවුද බේබි බලාගන්නේ
mata puluwan bala ganna toys mokut kena denna
එපා කෝපමයි ඩාලින් එපා කෝපමයි ඩාලින් මීට පස්සේ ආය හොඳින් ඉන්න බවට මම රෙකමන්ඩ්
මට හරිනේ ඔය කෝලං මට හරිනේ ඔය කෝලං
අය ඉතින් මගේ ඔවදන් අහලා ඉතින් හොඳට ඉන්නේ
ආය උඹ හිතට ගනින් ආය උඹ හිතට ගනින් ඊට පස්සේ ඔහොම රං අප්පු එක්ක එපා නැටුම්
ඔව් ආයා හොඳට ඉඳින් ඔව් ආයා හොඳට ඉඳින්
මහත්තයා කියනවා නම් කමට නොගොස් නවතින්න ආය උඹ ඉන්නවනම් ආය උඹ ඉන්නවනම් අප්පු එක්ක තරහ වෙයන් හිනා නොවි කටකොටකින් නෝනා හිනා යනවා ටිකක් නෝනා හිනා යනවා ටිකක්
අය ඔහොමයි මයි ඩාලින් ඒකිගේ බොරු මහ විගඩක් මේවා දැකලා බෑ හිනාවේ මේවා දැකලා බෑ හිනාවේ කොලහාල බංගලාවේ නරක නිසයි එපා
අනේ අප්පුත් ඔහෙ උන්නාවේ අප්පුත් ඔහෙ උන්නාවේ
ආයත් ඔහෙ උන්නාවේ ඇන්නේ මේ හැන්දෑවේ
මචං උසාලා ගියා නුවරඑළියේ වරෙන් අද දාමු හොඳ ආතල් එකක් උඹලා සෙට් එකම වරෙන් හරිද
කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා ගල්කට අහුලලා සෝදාහල් ගරා අනිකට දරපලා කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා ගල්කට අහුලලා සෝදාහල් ගරා අනිකට දරපලා
ගත්තම බතකුයා හිරියොදි ජාඩි දමා කමු අපි ජෝඩු දමා සුන්දරී හොඳින් ගත්තම බතකුයා හිරියොදි ජාඩි දමා කමු අපි ජෝඩු දමා සුන්දරී හොඳින්
කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා කුල්ලෙන් පොලා පොලා ගල්කට අහුලලා සෝදාහල් ගරා අනිකට දරපලා
ගෙදර හිටිය රෝස කැකුල රෝසා රෝසා ඔමල අඟර දාපු මුකුළු රෝසා රෝසා අපිත් එක්ක හරියාලුයි රෝසා රෝසා නැති වගේ පාළුයි රෝසා රෝසා නැති වගේ පාළුයි රෝසා පැණි සේරු සේරු පෙම් මදිරා සාරු සාරු මල් මේ පැණි සේරු සේරු පෙම් මදිරා සාරු සාරු දීලා මොටද රෝස නැතිව රෝසා දැකට දීවාලු පාලු කක මැද ඔරු පාලු පාලු ඇතලා මොටද රෝස නැතිව රෝසා උන්නට පොත් මල්ලි දුන්න රෝසා රෝසා සෝඩ තොනි කඩෙන් ගෙනා රෝසා රෝසා දුකට සැපට අපට හිතිය රෝසා රෝසා නැති වගේ පාළුයි රෝසා රෝසා නැති වගේ පාළුයි රෝසා
ලියපන් උඹේ නොම්බරේ තන්දුරි කමුද නොදා බරබරේ වාකරේ කවුද ඉන්නේ ජරමරේ අම්පාරේ මල්ලි නිදිද කාමරේ ජම්බෝලේ වගේ ඉන්න සුන්දරා සම්බෝලේ කොටල ගමුද ලුණු දමා දංගොල්ලේ මාමා ඇවිත් මහකුණා ගස් පල්ලේ ඉඳන් බොමුදරා පෙරා රපට ඩපට රපට ඩපට රපට ඩපට රපට එන්න මල්ලි නැගිටලා මෙන්න මල්ලි මෙන්න මල්ලි රස කතා බාම්බාගේ කපලා ගන්න තේන්දි වත් කරලා ගන්න එන්න මල්ලි නැගිටලා එන්න නංගි හැඩ දමා එලි වෙනකන් සින්දු කියමු රොක් වෙලා ලෝකේ තියෙන හොඳම සොමිය එලි වෙනකන් අපේ ජොලිය ගන්න නංගි එක් වෙලා
Secretary of the Sri Lanka Friendship Society, Inakshi Amarasinghe, to the stage to propose the vote of thanks.
Good evening, everyone. I'm honoured to have the opportunity as Secretary to be able to propose a vote of thanks on behalf of the Sri Lanka Friendship Society. Firstly, to our chief guest, Honourable Vanushree Walters, and to all our invited guests this evening, thank you for taking the time to be here with us. It's always really special when we're able to share cultural events like this with you. Secondly, to all the many funding and grant organisations, thank you for recognising the value of the work that we do and providing us with the opportunities like this to be able to promote, uphold and honour our cultural heritage. Thirdly, I'd like to thank all the sponsors for their support toward making this event a possibility. Finally, I'd like to extend a very heartfelt thank you to everyone within our Sri Lankan community for all their contributions towards this event over the weeks and months leading up to this point. I'd love to be able to thank each and every one of you, but the list is just too long. So thank you to all the event leadership teams for their tireless work behind the scenes. They've kept going despite having to face many challenging circumstances. I don't think we appreciate or acknowledge each other enough. So many of us have made a lot of personal sacrifices to make this event happen. And I'd like to acknowledge our creative team for bringing us a new vision for this event, and to all those who did their best to try to bring it to life. To our coordinators and choreographers for their dedication to the groups they worked with. We really value your creativity, time and energy into producing such great performances. To all the costume, prop, stage, deco designers, and to the parents of our children for working alongside our choreographers to support their vision. Thank you to the technical, media, item and state management teams for your hard work, despite the many frustrations you've had to face. I'd also like to acknowledge our catering team who are probably getting ready to welcome you all to the dinner dance event that we're having after this. To our compeers and the compering team who did a fantastic job tonight, thank you. I hope that we can continue to focus on the good in each other and the work that we do and move forward focused on our common visions and goals in a spirit of togetherness. Thank you all for being here today, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thanks.